So hi my sunflowers, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be rating ship tropes and dynamics in like a tier list. So let's get started. The categories are god tier, good tier, not bad tier, not for me tier, and this ain't it tier. First up on the list, Yanderes. I'm sorry, that for me it goes in the this ain't it tier. I don't know, something about being mean to everybody else and then just being nice to only like one person that you really like is real weird, because 9 times out of 10, oh wait, that's tsundere, isn't it? I'm not all there every day. Okay, so yanderes, however, which is like, oh, I'm really sweet until somebody messes with my crush, and then it's like full Goku Super Saiyans mode, right? Is that a good reference? I've never seen Dragon Ball Z. Anyways, yanderes are god tier. They go in god tier. For a minute there, tsunderes, however, let me actually find them because I know they're on this list. They go into this ain't it tier. Villain couples are god tier. Like, villain couples are god tier. I just love villains in general. Like, if villain bad, why share same trauma as me? If villain bad, why hero so annoying? You know? Villain couples are definitely god tier. Human x ghoul x monster, that goes in not bad tier. Like, it's not 2013 when I first made my Wattpad account and, you know, like, things like the Wolf Baby were real popular. I know y'all have read the Wolf Baby on Wattpad. I stopped reading it because the author was in like college and it took forever to update, and the main character annoyed the living life out of me. I hated her. Anyways, this ain't 2013 or 2010 where vampires x humans and werewolf x humans is all the rage. This is not 2010 when the Vampire Diaries and Teen Wolf came out and everybody was simping and wanted a werewolf boyfriend. So it goes in the not for me tier, or the not bad, the not for me tier. Yeah, polyamorous relationships, those go in the good tier. Falling in love in the middle of a war, that's the this ain't it tier. I really hate that. Like, we are literally, your comrades are dying on the battlefield and you're worried about whether or not this person is like head over heels in love with you. I don't like war like themed shows in general. However, the only exception to that is Attack on Titan, because I can accept that. But it does get annoying when every 3 to 5 minutes Mikasa is like, oh my god, where's Eren? Where's Eren? Like, ma'am, people are dying and he is actively running away from you. He does not see you the way that you see him. Just because he murdered like 3 people for you and convinced you to murder 3 people and y'all were raised together does not mean you're going to end up marrying him. Does she actually marry him in the manga? Because if she does, that is insane. That's more crazy than Sakura and Sasuke's entire relationship. Like, that is very, very interesting if they do end up getting married in the manga, because I want to know, how did that happen? Spoilers for Attack on Titan. Like, isn't he calling all of them traitors right now? Like, how did we get here if they did get married? That's crazy. Anyways, criminal ex-cop. I hate that trope for very obvious reasons. I am one of the colored folk and I don't like cops in general. The idea of sleeping with a cop actually repulses me. Kind of makes me want to throw up in my mouth a bit, because like, he could slit my throat in my sleep and they'd still claim it self-defense in court. So that's a no for me. Polar opposites, that is a god tier trope. That is a god tier trope. Height difference, that is god tier. Like, you have, I love height difference like couples. It's so cute. Like, you have 6'3" boyfriend, 5'3" girlfriend, or, you know, girlfriend, boyfriend, boyfriend. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Be who you are. Okay. But it's one of my favorites. Old married couple. Yeah, I like, you know, when there's that like one relationship where they like bicker like an old married couple and they're like best friends. That's a god tier. That's god tier. That's one of my favorites. Just friends being pals, that goes in good tier. Talking about, no, I mean, like, we kissed one time at a slumber party, but that doesn't mean that I'm like, that doesn't mean that I'm into him. It most definitely does, because you still continue to bring it up. Just friends being pals. I love that one, actually. Student ex professor, no. It's given pedophilia. It's giving Pretty Little Liars. It's given jail. it's giving 20 to life. I'm not, no. Royalty X Peasant, it's given you have crush on authority figures. It's given you like to be degraded. No. Royalty X Peasant, no. That's the This Ain't It tier. Mutual Pining, that God tier, good tier, God tier, good tier. That goes in good tier. That goes in good tier. Mutual Pining, it's okay. It gets annoying at times, especially when you're reading it and you like know these two characters are like made for each other. Take Miraculous Ladybug, for example. It is so incredibly frustrating watching two people, or like reading about two people who you know are going to end up together, just realize that they're going to end up together. Like, it is such a painful process, and sometimes I'm just like, can I skip this chapter? But I don't want to miss anything important. Honestly, Mutual Pining is good tier though, because it always makes the best stories. Mutual Pining is always one of the best stories. Tired Concerned Caretaker. Tired X Concerned Caretaker. That's the not for me. Sorry, it's a not for me tier. Star-Crossed Lovers, it's the good tier. Good tier. Reckless X saying X playing it straight, God tier. God tier. God tier. You have that one person in a relationship that's willing to charge headfirst into danger, and the other one who's like, well, maybe we should think about it. That is one of my favorite, all-time favorite ship tropes. I love it. Coworkers, and they were written, they were coworkers. It's not for me. I'm sorry, it's not for me. Superhero X Supervillain, that is God tier. That is just God tier, because 9 times out of 10 when you see a relationship that's superhero X supervillain, it's almost always a really complex story about how the villain changes the hero's perspectives. Or like when you see our hero like get really angry and like, I'm gonna kill this supervillain, and then while they're like trying to kill the supervillain, they have this whole breakdown of what society is really like and why they don't want to be a superhero, why they hate superheroes. And when you have like a supervillain superhero like romantic relationship, you get the supervillain telling the superhero why society is the way it is and why they don't want to be a superhero, why they hate superheroes. I honestly love it. It's one of my favorites because you almost always get a very interesting story out of something like that. I love it. Dumb Thick X Skinny Legend, not for me. Even like still saying, oh my god, Skinny Legend is like, it's not 2013. You are not a One Direction stan. Like, let's go ahead and pack it up. That's not what we do here. Meeting Years Later. That is the This Ain't It tier. Let me explain to you why. Because I hate the meeting years later trope. I hate it so much because when they were younger, 9 times out of 10 they did something that was really, really stupid. Like, they liked each other when they were younger and they could have been together, but they did something really stupid or had an argument before one of them moved away to like Colorado or like the middle of nowhere. And then they meet up years later and it's like really awkward, like, oh, it's so nice to see you again. Or like, you know, the girl moves into some farmhouse and the guy is the sheriff in town and he never moved. He stayed right where she was and she went to go live with her dad in Seattle. And it's always so frustrating because it's like, y'all could have did this 20 years ago, but here we are doing the exact same thing. And now y'all gotta re-get to know each other because, oh, we've changed and we moved our separate ways, when y'all just had a petty argument as kids and that broke off y'all entire relationship. Like, y'all could have stayed in touch when they moved away, but you had to be difficult. It's not one of my favorite tiers because it's frustrating to watch. Idiots in Love. Idiots in Love is good tier. The only reason I didn't put it in God tier is because, again, very, very frustrating to watch. Like, you're like, these two are like clearly in love with each other, but they won't tell each other that they're in love with each other. And like, it could be interesting, like in Love is War, it can be very, very interesting because like, who's gonna confess first? But then you have the not so sharp knives in the drawer that just sit there and be like, well, I know he likes me, but like, I like him and I don't want to tell him. Tell him. Go ahead and do that for me. Loner X Popular. I'm putting that in the This Ain't It tier simply because, I don't know, it's really weird how like even popularity as a construct to me is not something I'm a fan of. I just really don't like it. Like, oh, there's this loner chick and there's this really popular like girl, you know. it's not really for me. The only exception to that might be, there is no exception. I'm sorry, I don't like the trope. Angry X Sunshine is god tier. It's so god tier. I love that, actually. That's one of my favorites. Cause like, why are you so angry? Like, chill out. And then you have like the Sunshine, who's just like, you know those anesthetics where it's like bubblegum pink and roses and flowers and cherries, and then there's like the goth person who wears stompers and and like lace leggings or like sheer anything. Top tier, top tier. Angel X Demon, that goes in the not bad tier. I haven't had anything in the not bad tier. Wow, that goes in the not bad tier. I don't hate it, I don't like it, but I don't hate it. Nerd X Jock, that's the this ain't it tier. That's one of them that I hate. That's one that I really, really hate, the Nerd X Jock tier. It's so stupid. Like, oh. Little intermission, we're back. Alright, did you guys like my ringtone? If you know where that's from, you are elite. You are the pinnacle of society. You are God's favorite. Or whatever God you believe in. Or if you don't believe in any God, you're my favorite. Okay, so the Nerd X Jock, again, I don't like it. It's just really weird to me. Like, you have this really popular person and you have this nerd, and 9 times out of 10 they're like hiding their relationship because the jock is embarrassed to be seen with the nerd. And it's like, I don't know, something about that screams inferiority complex, and I'm not secure with myself as a person, and I've never like it's not enjoying to watch. It's not frustrating, it's just plain stupid. So it's not for me. Crime Fighting Duo is like god tier. I'm gonna put a picture on the screen in the corner somewhere here. This is why that trope is god tier. These two are why it's one of my favorite tropes, because like murder mystery mixed with ancient Chinese cultivation, right? But the author was like, let's put a murder mystery intertwined with a soulmate love story, intertwined with like magic, and it was the best story I'd ever read. I loved it. I loved it. That is why that trope is god tier, simply for those two. And I know you can't really count them as a crime fighting duo because there's many elements to that story that's not really focused on the murder mystery, but like the murder mystery and the whole soulmate thing was the reason, one of my favorite, it was like the reason that I continued to read that story. And it is a really, really long book. It took me almost a month to get through each and every character's arc. It was a long, long book. Sleepless nights. I'd spend 6 hours just getting through a couple of chapters. It's a really, really long book, but it is a well-written book at that. And the show, I finished the show in 2 weeks because I have no self-control. I binged all of it, all 50 episodes. Yes, that is what happened. Okay, and our last one, we've made it to the end. Rivals. Where's she gonna go? Where's she wanna go? Where are we going? Rivals goes in god tier. Just because like y'all realize that y'all are rivals for a stupid reason, or like because rivals have the best banter, right? Like, I don't know, it's just something about rivals having the best banter, and it's always like the cutest little relationship. However, unless it's shown in anime, in which case the trope isn't for me. But like rivals in any other media I'm fine with, except shown in anime, because the rivals in shonen anime, almost all, they don't suck, they just don't work well together in a romantic relationship. And I know a lot of people ship rivals in romantic relationships, like example Bakudeku or Sasuke and Naruto. They do not work in a relationship because two of the people in those relationships were bullies to the protagonists, and that's almost always why they're rivals, because one of them have an inferiority complex. And I know you might argue Sasuke didn't have an inferiority complex. He most definitely did. He was like super jealous of Naruto. Argue with your mama. He hated that boy for no good reason. Like, what did he do to you? Talking about, well, you never had a family, you wouldn't understand. Oh, I'm sorry, Sasuke. It's not like his mother and father were murdered like 30 minutes after he was born. It's not like everybody in the village hated him for simply existing. It's not like he has a 10,000 or like millions-year-old demon spirit sealed inside of him that he did not ask for, by the way. And it's not his fault that he's an orphan. But yes, you have it much worse than him. I hate Sasuke with a passion. And I know there are people out there that just love and adore him. I like Itachi. And I like Sadara. Like, I like his kid and I like his brother. But I don't like him or any other member of that clan. Now, I'm not a racist like Tobirama. But at the same time, I don't understand how saying Naruto wouldn't understand because he's never had a family, as if that was his choice, as if he was even old enough to remember his family. Nobody even told him his dad was a 4th Hokage and he didn't even know who his mother was. At least you got to know your parents. Like, at least you knew you had family. Naruto didn't know anything. The Uzumaki clan was basically wiped out. And then he knew nothing about his father. I don't even think they even told us anything about where Minato was from. And it's just so sad. Like, nobody told him. Jiraiya didn't tell him. The 3rd Hokage, who sucked, by the way, didn't say nothing. Everybody sucked. Everybody. Yeah. It was the 3rd Hokage, right? The 3rd, or who was it? I know I'm not tripping. Yeah. Lord 3rd was, like, awful. I hated him. Because, like, you put this child in an apartment, give him monthly allowance, and, like, call it a day. When they specifically said, please take care of our son, like, Kushina with her dying breath is like, please take care of our son. She didn't even want the 10 tails to be sealed into Naruto because it's like, it's not fair. Why does this newborn child have the responsibility of saving the entire village and the world at that? He was just born 15 minutes ago. She didn't even really get to hold her baby. She got to spend 10 minutes with him while she was dying at that. It's just so frustrating to me. And nobody ever told him about his parents. I'm sorry, I went on a little tangent there. I just love him to death. He's my favorite. If you couldn't tell, he's my favorite. I don't like Sakura. I will not elaborate. I will not elaborate. But rivals, rivals, under any circumstance, rivals, except in shonen anime, are always god tier. Are always god tier. Okay. Anyways, should I end the video or should I do another one?
Okay, hi, this is Editing Sis here. So this video was originally like 30 minutes long, and because iMovie wanted to be a prick, I was not able to upload it. So I did do another tier list. I did a Bratz and a Monster High movie, and then I ranted for like ever. And I was like, you know, but I was like, let me split the video into 2 or make it long. But no, it was like over 30 minutes long, but it wouldn't upload, so I had to cut like half the video out. So really sorry for the abrupt ending. But yeah, there might be a part 2 to this video if I even feel like editing it. I'm really irritated at this point and I just want the video to be uploaded because my computer is being stupid. But yeah, that's all. So sorry for the really abrupt ending, or if it seems weird because it was rushed and thrown together. That's why that was, because YouTube is being an asshole. So
yeah, that's about all. That's it. I'm done. I'm out. Bye.